Have you ever wondered why a Japanese room, though so simple and bare, still makes you want to take a deep breath and smile? The secret isn't just about owning less. It's about intentionally removing the very things that weigh your home down and cloud your mind. Today, I'll show you exactly 9 of those things, the silent noisemakers of everyday life. And the beautiful part is this: once they're gone, you'll feel the shift instantly, like opening a window and letting a cool breeze rush in. Imagine your morning beginning in a space that breathes. You open your closet and there's no more nothing to wear. You step into the kitchen and see only fresh ingredients waiting. Your desk is clear, no haunting piles of paper. Your bookshelf holds only the titles that truly serve your present moment. Unfitting gifts no longer guilt you. Decorations step aside so the light can rest its hand on something truly beautiful. Even your tech drawer is calm now. No more tangles of cables rattling every time you open it. And deeper still, when emotional burdens lighten, your heart finds a gentle silence to begin the day anew. This video doesn't ask you to live in deprivation. It invites you to live wisely, to let go of what needs to go, so what matters most can stay. Join me through 9 specific decluttering points. Each comes with a small question, a simple action, and a sense of lightness you can measure in your own breath. Starting today, your home will grow quieter, and so will you. 1. Clothes you don't wear. In the morning, you open your closet as if standing before a museum of your former selves. Dresses for when I'm thinner, shirts from old trips, suits from past jobs. All hang silently, taking up space meant for today. We don't just hold on to fabric. We hold on to memories, expectations, and sometimes guilt for what we bought but never used. That's why decluttering clothes isn't just about folding and discarding. It's a gentle conversation with the past, returning your energy to the present. Understanding this softens the resistance, the "I own it so it's valuable" mindset, the fear of regret, or the "what if I need it" thought. All keep us holding on too long. The more choices we have, the more exhausting mornings become. Standing before dozens of not today items drains your willpower until you sigh, "I have nothing to wear." The fast shopping loop only fills physical gaps, not the inner emptiness. Try asking, does this piece still serve the person I am today? If the answer is no, or I'm not sure, you've reached the point of change. Begin with a mindful inventory day. Lay your clothes on the bed, touch each one, and ask, have I worn this in the past week or month? Does it fit, feel comfortable, and suit my current rhythm of life? Keep what you truly love. Schedule repairs for what needs fixing. For uncertain pieces, place them in a trial box, labeled with a date 60-90 days ahead. If you don't think of them by then, let them go gently. For sentimental clothes, take a photo and keep one deeply meaningful piece. The rest deserves a new life with someone else. A simple rule, one in, one out. When something new arrives, something old departs. The closet stays light, and so does your mind. Try a small wardrobe season for 3 months, about 30 flexible pieces for work, weekends, and travel. When dressing becomes as effortless as breathing, you'll realize having less, but having right is enough. The invisible costs fade too. Less laundry, fewer impulse buys, more time for what matters. Letting go of an unworn shirt so it finds someone who needs it is honoring its value and giving yourself room to breathe. From a tidy wardrobe, what changes isn't just your style, it's your feeling. Each morning, you reach for clothes that fit your life now, and confidence greets you in the mirror. Fewer, not this, more, yes, this one. One day, you'll open your closet and see the bright space glowing like a blessing. Live lightly. When your wardrobe breathes, your mind does too. 2. Unused kitchen tools. You open a drawer, and it looks like a fairground after closing. Avocado slicers, bread makers, special tongs you can't even name, lying still like promises of homemade meals that never happened. We don't just hold on to things, we hold on to an image of the chef version of ourselves. That's why letting go feels so hard. But a minimalist kitchen doesn't diminish your cooking experience. It brings back breath to flavor, to your hands, to every meal. Why do we keep so many single-purpose tools? Because we spent money on them? Because they were gifts from loved ones? Because we think, what if I need it someday? And so, every cooking session turns into a treasure hunt through clutter. We're tired before the water even boils. When countertops are crowded with tools, the mind is crowded with noise. The Japanese have a word, motai nai. Don't waste what still has value. Waste isn't only throwing things away, it's also letting good objects sleep silently in drawers, never used. Start with a blank kitchen week. Put every tool into a clean box. For 7 days, take out only what you truly need. Use it, wash it, and put it back where it belongs. At the end of the week, the tools still lying untouched in the box are your answer. Say goodbye to duplicates, 3 peelers, 2 can openers. Say goodbye to warped, rusty, or forgotten tools. Keep only what's versatile and strong. 1 good knife, 1 sturdy cutting board, 1 nonstick pan, 1 deep pot, 1 small saucepan, 1 wooden spoon. Our grandparents cooked entire childhoods with just these few things. When limits become your frame, creativity appears. With 1 pan, you can sear fish, stir-fry vegetables, or make sauce. With 1 knife, you slice, mince, carve. The simpler the motion, the clearer the taste. To keep order lasting, set a few gentle rules. A clear surface is the heart of the kitchen. The main counter is only for everyday tools. Everything else has its own home. Each night, return things to their place. Like closing the day with a quiet ritual. For sentimental items, take a photo and keep 1 piece that makes you smile. Let the rest go to someone who'll use them. With gifts, gratitude doesn't mean keeping them forever. Gratitude means allowing them to continue their life, even if that means passing them on. When drawers stop groaning from being too full, you'll notice meals become gentler. Vegetables wash easily because baskets have their place, knives rest right where your hand expects, and the kitchen is no longer where you rush to get it done, but where you stay to be with the flavor. A simplified kitchen brings very real rewards. Fewer dishes to wash, fewer things to buy, easier cleaning, and most surprisingly, more peace. You find yourself more relaxed, eating more slowly. A bowl of hot soup and a plate of perfectly cooked vegetables in a tidy kitchen can heal a noisy day better than any expensive machine. And one day, you'll open a drawer and hear only the soft whisper of space. Just enough is enough. The kitchen is calm, the meal is kind, and the heart is at peace. 3. Expired foods. Once the countertop is calm, step over to the pantry, where many good intentions have fallen asleep. Opening the cabinet feels like turning the pages of an old diary. A packet of baking powder that's lost its scent, a jar of cinnamon bought for some occasion, a can of beans resting quietly at the back of the shelf. Ghosts of unfulfilled plans. The messier it gets, the less we feel like cooking. A meal meant to nourish begins instead with a heavy sigh. Searching for what we need, finding something spoiled, closing the door again with frustration. We hold on because we fear waste, feel guilty about the money spent, or cling to the small memories printed on labels. Yet, there's another, subtler form of waste. Letting food live a forgotten life. The value of food isn't in occupying space, but in the moment it nourishes. When shelves are crowded with expired or fading goods, we unintentionally hide the fresh ingredients, slow our desire to cook, and let the kitchen carry the scent of delay. Begin a small yet decisive ritual. Take everything out of the pantry, wipe the shelves clean, and touch each item. If it's expired, say goodbye immediately. That's an act of responsibility toward your own health. Don't hold on to old spices. When their fragrance fades, so does the soul of a dish. Keep what's still good and organize it by the eye-level rule. Place what needs to be used soon where you can see it. Label open jars with dates and set aside a small priority zone for this week's ingredients. Every Friday night, spend 10 gentle, judgment-free minutes on a spice review. This small ritual keeps the kitchen alive. As space reappears on the shelves, you realize you don't need much to eat well. A bit of good salt, freshly ground pepper, a bottle of oil within date, a few familiar herbs. That's enough to create flavor. Simplicity sharpens the rhythm of cooking. You open the cabinet, see exactly what you have, decide fast, heat the pan at the right time, and the meal arrives just when it should. Even shopping begins to change, not for someday, but for this week. Each time you place something in your basket, ask yourself, in how many meals will this appear? If the answer feels uncertain, leave it behind. Try a week of cooking within reach. Prepare only from what's already open or near expiry. Surprisingly, it will be your most creative week. Stir-fried noodles with half a box of mushrooms, warm soup from forgotten pumpkin, a pinch of old cinnamon making baked apples fragrant again. When you use every ingredient's full life, gratitude naturally blooms for the farmer, the transporter, and your own hands. A clean kitchen, aged yet fresh, doesn't need abundance. It only needs spices that still carry scent, shelves with room to breathe, and meals that arrive at their right time. One day you'll open the cabinet and hear the clear silence of the shelves. Fullness doesn't come from how much you store, but from the flavor that's alive, right now. 4. Papers and documents. When the corners of your home are finally tidy, turn to your desk, the place where for later papers quietly occupy your peace. Bills, manuals, warranty slips, hurried notes. Each sheet feels like a reminder of something undone. Each unopened envelope like an unnamed worry. We think we're procrastinating paperwork, but really, we're postponing a feeling, and that feeling makes the day heavier. We keep papers because we fear throwing away something important, because of what if I need it, or because of someone's handwriting. The more we stack, the more we tire. Walking past the desk, the fog of anxiety thickens, but truly, opening an envelope is often easier than we imagine. A bill just needs to be paid. A letter only needs acknowledgement. An ad simply needs to be let go. Once you start, the heaviness lifts faster than you think. Try a short, mindful, gratitude paper cleanse. Step 1. Sort. Gather everything onto an empty surface, toss the trash, and keep only what serves your present life. Step 2. Seitan. Set in order. Use just 2 trays, action now and reference. Tasks that need doing, replying, paying, calling, go in a slim tray within sight. The rest goes into labeled folders. Step 3. Say so, shine. Wipe the desk clean, place a good pen and a date stamp beside it. 3 simple beats. A new workspace is born. From then on, give just 5 minutes a day to mail opening. Touch the letters that arrive, read, decide, act, and don't leave them overnight. As for sentimental papers, concert tickets, postcards, handwritten notes, don't ask them to carry the weight of an entire life. Photograph them, add captions, print a small collage for a memory box. Keep 1 or 2 that truly make you smile. For uncertain papers, place them in an envelope labeled "Review after 90 days." If the time passes and you haven't needed them, the answer is clear. Digitizing can also be gentle. Scan rare reference documents, name files with 3 parts, year, category, detail, and keep only 3 main folders. Finance, family, contracts. Simplicity makes clutter nearly impossible. Each month, spend 15 minutes refreshing, like changing the water for a plant. The Japanese have ma, the empty space that lets things breathe. A desk, too, needs space for the mind to breathe. When you stop managing papers, you return to managing life itself. Signing what needs signing, closing what needs closing, and leaving the desk to step into the living world ahead. And one afternoon, as sunlight falls across a clear, smooth desk, you'll understand. Peace isn't buried under piles of paper. It lives in the moment you dare to open and the gentleness with which you put things down. 5. Books and magazines. When your desk is clear and calm, look up to your bookshelf, the place filled with "I'll read it later" versions of yourself. Uncut book spines, yellowed magazines. They don't just take up space. They hold unfinished intentions. Every glance across them is a quiet sigh. The Japanese have a word for this: tsundoku. Buying books and letting them sit unread. It's not that we don't love knowledge, but that we love the image of being someone wiser more than we love the time we actually have. And so, the bookshelf becomes a museum of intentions. The difficulty in letting go is woven from many threads. A book tied to a season when you wanted to change your life, a gift heavier in meaning than in content, or a stack of magazines for research on a project that never began. But just like the kitchen, a bookshelf also needs ma, the space that lets thoughts breathe. When every spine is pressed together, reading turns into a task, no longer a meeting of minds. You don't need a grand library to live deeply. You just need a shelf that mirrors who you are right now. Begin with a small date with your bookshelf. Take down each book and ask, will this book walk with me for the next 6 months? If the answer is no, thank it for its companionship, then let it continue its journey to a library, a used bookstore, or the hands of someone who needs it. With gifts, gratitude doesn't mean keeping them forever. Gratitude means placing them with the right reader. For magazines, keep only the truly valuable issues. For the rest, capture the best pages and photos and close their cycle gently. You might try a 5-book manifesto. 1 book for awakening, 1 for your craft, 1 for emotion and imagination, 1 for body and mind, and 1 purely for joy. When the few become intentional, each book gets fully lived. Its corners folded, its lines underlined, knowledge transforms into experience. That, too, is the spirit of Motai Nai, honoring value by using it fully, not storing it away. To keep your shelf light yet warm, create a currently reading section at eye level, 3 to 5 books that move with your present rhythm. The rest can be organized by theme or digitized, with simple names like year_topic_title. At the end of each month, spend 10 minutes to refresh the air, return what's finished to the library, give away a read book, choose a new one as an invitation. Over time, you'll read less, but deeper, spend less on owning, and more on understanding. One day, you'll look at your bookshelf and see the color of space glowing between familiar spines. That isn't lack. It's an invitation to focus. Knowledge doesn't live in the number of pages you hold, but in what remains within you when the book is closed. And when the shelf can breathe, so can your mind. Read to live, not to accumulate. 6. Decorations. Is there a room that feels like a long sentence without a period? Each shelf a clause, each photo frame a comma, each little figurine a breath, all crowding together until your eyes have nowhere to rest. When every surface speaks, you can't hear what truly matters. And so, the one thing most deserving of honor, the calm of the home, gets pushed to the back. Decorations aren't the villains. They tell stories. The first trip, a surprise gift, the memory of a season. But when the story grows too many chapters, the mind grows weary. The Japanese have kanzo, simplicity that reveals the essence, and ma, the space that lets beauty breathe. An empty tabletop isn't not enough. It's an invitation to let one thoughtful object stand and shine. When there's room for light to pass through, you start to see the grain of wood, the scent of clay, the texture, the delicate details usually swallowed by clutter. Begin as if tending a garden. Gently lift each item from its place and ask, without this, would the room lose its sense of me today? Keep the ones that answer yes, the pieces that reflect who you are now, not who you were. For the rest, thank them and let them go. Gift them to friends, donate them, or simply return the room to its breath. You might try the 3-item rule. Each surface holds only 3 objects with clear stories: a simple ceramic vase, an open book, a green branch. Fewer, but with meaning, and suddenly the room feels deeper. Don't fear emptiness. Emptiness is the stage where light performs. A white wall becomes a frame for the one painting you love. An empty corner makes your mother's vase the centerpiece. That's shibui, quiet beauty. Unshowy, but richer the longer you look. And if something chipped still holds your affection, let it live by the spirit of wabi-sabi, embracing time's marks as part of its charm. A crack repaired with gold, kintsugi, tells a story of healing, making the room more humane. To keep things tidy for good, create a small waiting shelf in your cabinet. Any new decorative item stays there for 7 days. If after a week you still want to see it every day, bring it out. And let one old item go. Each month, spend 10 minutes refreshing the air. Dust, shift the placement, let the light try a new angle. When cared for in a slow rhythm, you'll realize how little you need to feel complete. Then one afternoon, sunlight tilts across a table, holding only a vase and a branch. The room is so still you can hear your own breath. You understand? It's not how many beautiful things you own, but how much beauty remains within you when you close your eyes. And only when the room has space, life too finds its gentle place to rest. 7. Electronic waste. Do you have a drawer that opens like a small tech graveyard? Cables tangled like seaweed, dead phones, swollen batteries, boxes still smelling faintly of new paper, all lying there like past lives refusing to leave. We say, just in case, but what we really mean is we haven't had the courage to end it. And the home carries another layer of invisible noise. Electronics bind us with 3 cords: the money we spent, the data we entrusted, and the memories they once held. A camera tied to your first trip, an old phone keeping old messages, a broken laptop still whispering, maybe it can be fixed. Few of us admit this. Each time we see them, the mind freezes, a task unfinished. That hesitation takes up space meant for the present. Begin gently, as if clearing a tea tray. Gather everything onto a table and name 4 destinations: in use, in near use, to pass on, end of life. In use, the things you use every day, give them a fixed place, cords tidy, outlets clean. In near use, devices with a clear purpose in the next 30 days. For example, a hard drive for this weekend's backup. Once the deadline passes, reassign them. To pass on, items that still work. Give them to someone who needs them, or send them for reuse. End of life. Things that are broken, outdated, or unsafe. Let them go through the proper path. Before saying goodbye, perform a small ritual for peace of mind. Back up data, sign out, delete information, remove memory cards, label cleared. With tangled cables, ask yourself, which device still uses this port? If no current partner exists, that wire is just an old promise. Keep one good universal set, let the rest go. For boxes, once the return period is over, return the space to your home. Boxes don't make warranties longer. Create a transparent pass box, a separate container for items preparing to leave home. Open it once a month to decide. A simple rhythm: when something new comes in, review something old, keeping balance without chanting one in, one out. A quiet charging corner with fewer cords and blinking lights makes evenings less cluttered. When technology stays in its place, to serve, not to rule, your energy returns to what's deeply human. A kind phone call, a song heard to the end, a night of real sleep. And one day, you'll open that drawer and no longer hear the anxious rustle of tangled wires. Only a few clear, ready tools remain. You smile. The present brightens when the past is released with kindness. And when there's less just in case, there's more room for what truly matters. The calm of today. 8. Gifts that don't bring joy. Are you keeping a gift only because you're afraid of hurting someone's feelings? A scarf in a color that isn't yours, a set of glasses that don't suit your kitchen, a glittering figurine on the shelf. They stand there like hesitant guests, making the home a little tighter and the heart a little heavier. We think we're preserving a relationship, but sometimes we're only holding on to an object standing in for words never spoken. Guilt makes letting go difficult. We fear seeming ungrateful, fear rejecting kindness. Fear the giver might visit and notice it's gone, but a gift, by its nature, fulfills its purpose the moment it is received with gratitude. What we cherish is the thought and the heart behind it, not the object's eternal presence. Keeping something that doesn't fit, forcing ourselves to see it daily, is not what the giver ever wished for us. When we understand this, the heart softens. Gratitude stays, the object can continue its journey. Begin with a gentle conversation with your gifts. Hold each one and ask, does this appear in my life this week? If not, allow yourself to choose. Pass it to someone who needs it, donate it, or sell it so it can be used properly. Before letting it go, whisper a quiet thank you. Thank the person who thought of you, and thank yourself for being honest. For gifts tied to memories, take a photo, write a short note, and let them rest where they belong, in an album, in a story, not on a shelf. To make future moments easier, set a light rule. When receiving a gift, give it 3 chances to appear in your life within a month. If all 3 feel forced, that's a clear signal. And because giving is a two-way conversation, learn to express your wishes early. I love gifts that are experiences, or let's just share a cup of coffee together. When boundaries are clear, affection is protected. We honor both the giver and the receiver. The beautiful thing is, once mismatched gifts are returned to their rightful place, the home brightens. Surfaces feel lighter, colors blend more harmoniously, and most importantly, every object that remains makes you smile. You begin to see relationships through more mature eyes, not measured by how many things are kept, but by how warm the real connections feel. One morning, you walk past a shelf a little emptier and notice the soft light resting on its surface. You realize the most beautiful gift is freedom without guilt. The freedom to love the giver without needing to keep everything they ever gave. 9. Emotional burdens. Are you living with an invisible backpack? Each time you think of someone or something from the past, your shoulders tighten, as if a small stone has slipped down inside. Physical clutter makes a home feel cramped. Emotional attachments make a day feel crowded. We carry them because we think they're part of who we are, a story long over, yet still repeating. Emotional burdens often grow from 3 roots: regret, resentment, and old self-images. They give us a strange sense of familiarity, even safety, because at least we know what happens when we hold on. We don't have to grow today. But like a room with its curtains drawn, only when we pull back the heavy fabric can the light come in. Letting go isn't forgetting or denying, it's closing one door so your hands are free to open another. Start with the smallest thing possible. Choose just one stone, a sentence that still stings, a mistake that keeps returning. Write it down as if naming a guest. I'm carrying, then place a hand on your chest, inhale, exhale slowly. Just one breath to remind your body, you are safe now. After that, write one more line. What I've learned from this. When meaning appears, the paper lightens. Fold it, slip it into an envelope labeled with today's date, and place it in a processed box, separate from the unfinished one. A small ritual, yet it's like reorganizing a drawer inside your heart. If your burden is a person, write a letter you'll never send. Say everything left unsaid, and end with a clear line. I return to you what is yours, and keep what is mine. Forgiveness doesn't excuse harm or blur boundaries. Forgiveness frees you first. If the burden is yourself, try one short sentence each morning. Today I allow myself not to be the version from that day. Whisper it like signing your name to a new day. To keep the path light, set aside 10 minutes of heart clearing each night. Look back on your day, name one heavy feeling, and choose a way to release it. Write it down, take a warm bath, go for a walk, or send an apology if needed. Once a week, hold a letting go ritual. Drop a small pebble into a bowl of water, whisper what you're ready to release. That quiet sound reminds you the weight stays in the water, not on your shoulders. One day you'll remember the old story without hurting the old way. The memory will stand still like a printed photograph, and you'll walk past it as someone who has learned the lesson. Decluttering your home helps you breathe in space. Decluttering your heart helps you breathe in time. And when the inside grows clear, you'll hear something simple and true. The present moment is always wide enough for a gentle new beginning. When you let go of the right 9 things, your home doesn't just become tidier. Your rhythm of life grows softer and clearer. Mornings no longer begin with a sigh in front of the closet. The kitchen is no longer a landing pad for unfinished intentions. The desk no longer reminds you of undone tasks. The bookshelf holds promises you've kept. The decorative corner has space for light to breathe, and the tech drawer no longer rattles with the past. The gifts you kept out of guilt have found their rightful place. And most importantly, you've learned to set down one stone from your emotional backpack so you can walk lighter. Japanese minimalism has never been about living with less. It's about living deeply, so what truly matters has space to stay. Now, it's time to move from understanding to action. Starting today, choose one of the 9 areas and spend just 20 minutes on it. A clothing drawer, a kitchen corner, or even a single stack of papers that needs a decision. Tomorrow, take on the second. After 9 days, you'll notice not only your home has changed, but you have too. Calmer, more intentional, more at ease. If this video resonates with you, click like so the algorithm can carry this piece to others. Subscribe and turn on the bell to stay close to upcoming videos on minimalism, organization, and nurturing a meaningful rhythm of life. And before you go, leave a comment. Which of the 9 will you start clearing today? I'll read, reply, and suggest a small step for your personal journey. A tidy home, a mind with space to breathe, and a new day begins, light as the first breath.